Hey folks, this is Samia and EJ from Turtle Talk at Turtle Tank. That's T squared, but Turtle Talk is T squared. And here's another one of our talks. We're talking things out. EJ, I guess I wanted to ask you a question this time.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this quite a bit. We've come to this kind of understanding, and I wanted you to talk a little bit more about it. So what are the foundational fears that hold us back from being radical entrepreneurs?
Well, I think there are two main fears that I've noticed, like both in myself and people that I work with. And one is like not really believing that it's possible to be an entrepreneur and still be radical, or still hold on to like your radical ideas and values. And there's a fear that if you do, then you're going to be selling out and your community is going to reject you. Your community is going to be like, we don't recognize you anymore. You're not going to fit in. And so there's this fear of like not belonging anymore.
Being a traitor.
Yeah. Being ostracized. And then the second fear is, I think, the fear of like being attacked for, being an entrepreneur and putting out, like creating like a powerful like stance in your community and being able to generate wealth and being able to like really stand in your own power.
Being attacked by
the forces that are already attacking us, just for being ourselves. And so it's this idea of like, oh, well, I'm going to make myself stand out even more by being successful and generating income. And, I'm going to make myself more of a target. So that fear is also there.
Right. And doing it radically, like trying to, take control of wealth. That is already pre-owned by, pre-controlled by the powers that be.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so then we've got two main fears here. The fear of being excommunicated from your internal community, your close community, and the fear of being killed, being attacked. And we have, historically experienced both, right? And it's hard to stand out with that.
Yeah. And I think, like, underneath, like, part of what happens, too, is, I think, one, like, radical entrepreneurs don't even realize that those fears are kind of what's driving them or preventing them or holding them back.
Right.
And they tend to, like, individualize it, like, oh, I have this problem, or, oh, there's something wrong with me, or, oh, I say I want to do this, but I'm not, like, I'm procrastinating, I'm not doing the work, I'm not organized enough, like, maybe I don't have it. And people don't realize how much those fears are actually holding them back. And then the fears are just the surface level. Like, really what's underneath that is, like, a lot of us are, like, living with unresolved trauma, and that trauma is, like, really what's, like, feeding those fears.
Right.
So that just, like, compounds, like, our progress and what we can do.
And the trauma of, again, having experienced the effects of having been excommunicated or having been killed for, stepping up and doing what needs to be done. And that's a difficult space to exist. Again, I want to say that. I've experienced that just by virtue when I first started doing this work with Build Your Boat, about a year or so ago. And I've been doing this work for a while, and I called it so many different things. It's like homegrown entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, blah, 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 entrepreneur. And then when I finally decided I was going to put the word radical and entrepreneur next to each other, I freaked out myself. I freaked myself out. I was like, how am I going to, I was really high pitched. I was like, how am I going to, resolve what is seemingly, these two opposing, areas of my life. I actually struggled to even embrace the fact that I was an entrepreneur, that I was interested in money, that I was interested in looking at wealth, that those are fundamental to our liberation, to our freedom, to our power, and that they're just one form in which power expresses itself, right? And so putting the word radical and entrepreneur together was really, really difficult for me. And there was a moment where I thought, well, shit, people might stop liking me and being my friend, people that I love. And in fact, it's been quite the opposite. I mean, people have embraced that. I don't know how the world is going to embrace that, and the radical world is going to embrace that. And I'm sure we're going to have, people on all sides of all things. And I think at the end of the day, you know, we all have to check ourselves by really considering what is driving our responses to combining those two words. What is driving? Why are we allergic to the word wealth? You know, in all of its definitions. Why are we allergic to the word money? Who doesn't?
Power.
Who does it benefit? Let's be real. Who does it benefit for us to not talk about wealth, to not talk about money, to not talk about power?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, we all.
I don't want to say it. I'm not gonna, who does it benefit?
Yeah.
You know, not us.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah.
Kind of recognizing like that our silence, our like fear, like actually having these conversations is like, it's also intentional. It's part of the design. It's part of the system that we're trying to like break apart.
Precisely. Yeah, I think there's like the biblical statement. I'm paraphrasing right now. Don't hate me. Do not hate me. I'm not a Bible reader. But, you know, the money is at the root of all evil, but really the sentence is the pursuit of money is at the root of all evil. So even that has been used and to placate us in terms of wanting to participate in wealth.
Creating wealth.
Right. Yeah. And in participating in resource distribution, resource management, and resource ownership. Oh my God, the other crazy, you know, dirty word, ownership, you know, which is a huge, I think it's the center of gravity of everything that we're talking about here, you know, so is rediscussing what ownership means. You know, I really want to write this article about that very, very soon. And I'm very excited about it. But yeah, so yeah. So how do we, you know, reframe? I guess what we're trying to do is reframe the language and open up some of these spaces to have the conversations in order to get rid of fear, guilt, shame, you know, and really unresolved trauma around that work, so that we can step into our power fully in every space in our lives, including economic and financial.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Because, I mean, we know that fear only has power over you when you don't recognize it, when you don't acknowledge it. But being able to, like, speak to your fears, acknowledge them, talk about them, is what, like, takes their power away.
Right, exactly.
And so this is the first step in that conversation.
Right.
If you want to engage in that conversation with us further, then go ahead and subscribe and join us
to our YouTube channel.
Channel. Like us on Facebook, engage with us there, or you can join us on our mailing list and like email us personally.
Right, you can go on our website turtletank.co, and we will be offering some amazing free stuff in the upcoming month, based on feedback that we get on these little videos that we're doing.
Yeah. So if you like the topic we're talking about, go ahead and share it. The more you share it, the more we know you like it, and the more we're going to create free content on that topic. That goes into more details, like more practical details about like, all right, I have these two fears, now what? What do I do? And so
how do I resolve them?
Yeah. So if you want to talk some more about that, let us know by sharing.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.